Hi, my name is William Rayne. I am a knight in the Society for Creative Anachronism. I have been fighting and training in armored combat for around 15 years now. Before that, and still to this day, I have also studied other martial arts, more traditional Eastern martial arts like karate, hapkido, and taekwondo. And if we stretch back even further, I've been in sports since I could walk, varsity wrestling back in high school. Those are kind of my credentials here, if you will. I'm starting a new series today. With this series, I hope to provide you with some training that you can do at home during these times, and even bring into your regular training once things get back to normal. These first lessons, we're going to start at the very base of fighting and work our way up through a series of videos. So whether you are a beginner or a low to mid or mid to high level fighter, I'm hoping that these will provide you with something that you can take home, apply, and then continue to maintain, hone, or sharpen your fighting skills. In any case, the way these are going to run, we're going to break the video into three main sections. First, we will talk conceptually and goal-oriented. What are we training and why are we training it? Then we'll get into the drills. How do we train this skill? And then finally we'll wrap up with the application. Where do we then use this skill in a fight? I hope that intro wasn't too long. Let's go ahead and get into this first video in my new series, Training for Fighting at Home. We'll workshop the name. We'll figure something out. Back in a flash. Okay. In this first video, we are going to be talking about stance and movement. And what we're going to be looking at is a basic fighting stance and one of the simpler methods of movement, the boxer step. We are going to practice the boxer step, working up toward what I call the 8-point footwork drill. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to stand. So I've got a simple cross here. The idea being that the center of the cross is my center. If there were a pole going up through the center of the cross, it should go up right through the center of me. All right? Now, you want your feet about shoulder width apart. A great way to find your feet is to go ahead and jump. And where your feet naturally land is a good indication of how far apart you want them to be. Now on this cross here, I am right side dominant, so I hold my sword in my right hand. So on this cross here, I'm going to put my left foot, heel on the line, right foot, toes on the line. Alright, so left foot, heel on the line, right foot, toes. From here, we're going to sit into our stance. Again, I do not want my knees locked, so I'm going to go ahead, sit into my stance. Keeping the hips nice and loose, weight evenly distributed between my feet so I can move in any direction at any time. We want to keep our core tight and our back straight, and if you saw any of my workout videos, you'll know that adage. Now hands, where do we want our hands? I always start off teaching a sword and shield approach to fighting. I think it's a very adequate platform for learning your first stages of fighting. So, where do we want our hands? First things first, you're going to hold them straight out in front of you as though you are going to choke an imaginary opponent right in front of you. Then you are simply going to bend your elbows and bring your hands slightly back. Keeping your hands open at all times, your right hand is going to be slightly behind your left hand. And right here is your fighting stance. We're going to go ahead and rotate the camera so you can see this from different angles. Okay, now that I've shown you how to stand, let's talk about how to move so that we are always in a good fighting stance. The whole point of this drill and the way we move is to allow us to move and maintain our fighting advantage at all times. So, the first movement we want to talk about, as I said before, is the boxer step. What is a boxer step? Well, as you can guess, we've taken it from Western boxing, but many other martial arts practice the same method of movement. All a boxer step is pushing off with the opposite foot of the direction that we want to go. That sounds complicated, but really all it means is that if I want to move forward, I'm going to ever so slightly lift my front foot. You can't even see it on the carpet here, but it's going to lift just a tiny bit, and I'm going to push with my back foot to propel myself forward. Now, as you can see, at the end of my motion here, I am in my exact same stance, ready to fire at any moment. And it's the same thing going backwards. If I want to get back to my center here that I've drawn out on my floor, to go backward, I'm going to push with my front foot, picking this back foot up ever so slightly to go back. What we do not want to do is a big old leap. We don't want a lot of up and down motion or side to side motion. We want these are smooth, small adjustment steps. This is, okay, my opponent's backing up, and I'm going to follow him. Oh, opponent's closing. I don't like him that close. Here we are. And at any moment, while I'm backing up, I can strike. So once again, from this view, and then we'll look at it from the side, boxer step, very simple concept. We're going to start with just forward and backwards. So forward, here we are in our good fighting stance. Go ahead and put one of these on your floor. It's going to help you a lot when you're trying to think about your feet. So, good fighting stance, nice loose hips, and forward, and back, and back. And if we were to pause right here and look, hey, look at that. I'm right back home where I started. So again, to go backwards, we're just pushing with the front foot and back. All right. I'm going to show you once more forward and then once more back. So here's forward, here's back. And let's look at some Okay, forward and back, easy enough. It's not the only directions we are going to want to move in a fight. We also have left and right. So, moving to the left, can you guess which foot we're going to push off with? I feel like Dora the Explorer here. Yes, it's your right foot. Good job. So, in our nice fighting stance, to move to our left, we're just going to push with our right. Again, lifting this left foot just enough to where it skates along above the ground. To move back to our right, just reverse that whole process. Push with our left, boom. Go to the right, boom. Back to center, left, back to center, Easy enough. All right, let's talk about moving on a diagonal. Our 8-pointed star is very, very simple. So I'll go ahead and put a graphic on the screen now of how you should number it if you put this on your floor so you can follow along. So here's that graphic. And I will post a link to that very simple drawing in the comments if you want it. It should be pretty easy to draw. But we have our 8 directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right? 5 and 6 are pretty easy. Okay? I want to move forward and to the left. I'm pushing with my back right foot. Here we are, forward to the left, boom. To get back, I push with my forward left foot to go backwards and to the right, boom. So real quick, I'll show you that. Here we are, forward and to the left, backward and to the right. Once more with feeling. Forward to the left, backward to the right. Backward to the right, forward to the left. Awesome. The next part of this footwork is 7 and 8. This is where we're going to throw a little bit of a curveball at you. I cannot just go forward and to the right. My feet aren't in the correct position. To push that way with a boxer step, I have to push with my left foot and my back foot, but they're 2 different feet now, so that's not going to work. The way we fix this is an adjustment step called a crescent step. It's called a crescent step because I am literally making a crescent shape on the ground. So, I want to move forward and to my right. I've got to get my left foot back, but I don't want to step backwards. So all I'm going to do is take my right foot, pick it up, bring it in, and put it back down. It's a tiny little adjustment step. I'm not making a big, huge, and stepping forward. All right? It is a tiny, tiny adjustment step. Basically, if you look at how your feet are right here, with my left heel pretty much in line with my toes, when I do this crescent step, now my right heel is in line with my toes. I've just changed my stance from a regular to what we right-handers call a goofy foot, or you left-handers call home base. Sinister bastards. I'm kidding. All right, so all we're going to do, and I'll show you one more time, nice and slow, crescent step. This is part 1, okay? Back home, crescent step. This is part 1 of the movement, okay? Once we've got that down, well, now look where we are. How do we do a boxer step forward and to the right? We push with our back left foot. So here we are. Let me go back to home here. Here we are at home, crescent step, and now boxer step. Easy. To get back to center, we're going to push. We're going to boxer step back into the left. That one's easy. We know that one. Push with our right. Boom. But our feet are wrong. We're still in goofy. So to get back, little crescent step. Easy as pie. I'm going to show you one more time. The whole step and back. All right? So here we are. Step. Boom. And back. Easy as pie. All one motion. Boom. Fire. And back. Piece of cake, right? How do you think we do 8? You got it. So all we're going to do is we're going to do a crescent step to get our left foot behind us. So again, nice and slow. And back. Weight shifts just a little bit, and then we're back in a good stance, and our feet are in a good position for us to boxer step back and to the left. And then to get back home, here we are, and then we fix our feet. So again, nice and slow, crescent step, boom, boxer step, crescent step, crescent boxer, boxer crescent, and we're right back at home. Okay, so now we want to put all of those steps together. This is the 8-point footwork drill. The way it works is you're going to get in your good stance right here in the center. We've got 8 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The way this drill works, for now, I'm going to call a number, and then I will say center. So I will say 1, we move to the 1 position. Then I'll say center, we move to the center position. 2, center, 3, center, and so on and so forth. So, ideally, when we're done with this drill, you're going to end up right back at the very point you started. Ideally with your feet in the same exact position. So, get your good fighting stance. We'll run through the whole drill once through, and I'll show you the drill from different angles so that you can kind of get an idea of how this works. Here we go. Good fighting stance, hands up, and 1. Center. 2. Center. 3. Center. 4. Center. 5. Center. 6. Center. 7. Center. 8. Center. 1. Center. 2. Center. 3. Center. 4. Center. 5. Center. 6. Center. 7. Center. 8. Center. Good. Shake it off. Check your feet. Are you back where you started? If you are, amazing. That's perfect. Keep doing that. If you're not, just adjust, slow down, try again, and you'll get there. Application for this one, I think, is fairly self-explanatory. We want to be able to, for one, no matter where we are, we want to be able to throw that shot and come right back and defend ourselves. For sword and shield guys, for right-handed sword and shield guys, I've got my left hand out as a check. My right hand is my striking hand. In a fight, hands open in front of you, right? I look like I might know what I'm doing, but at the same time, I've got my hands open. To people that are watching, this looks like, hey man, I don't want to fight. But at the same time, I've got my left hand up, ready to check, to grab, to swat something out of the way, and I've got my right hand primed for that strike. And with this movement, the whole point of moving the way that we do and the way that I teach is that I can go back and strike. I can go left and strike, right, strike, and go on a diagonal. Boom! No matter where I move or what I'm doing, I am always, always in a position to throw that strike. That's the application part of it. This drill is one we've been using for years and years and years and years. It's our base level footwork drill. The only thing we're going over is how to stand and how to do some pretty basic boxer steps. But this is the foundation upon which all other techniques are going to lie. The more you learn, the more you stack on top of that, if your foundation's not good, it's going to crumble. Something's going to go wrong later on. So, please, I hope this has been helpful for you. Take this drill home with you. Put some tape on the carpet. Put a mirror in front of you if you have to. Film yourself if you have to. But think about using those small boxer steps to maintain a good fighting stance at all times while you are moving. Some things to watch out for before I let you go. When you're watching yourself, make sure that you're not coming up as you move. A lot of people want to step up and forward. It's a lot of unnecessary motion, and a lot of fighting is about deception, and we don't want to telegraph where we're going or that we're moving. We want to keep everything nice and smooth at all times. So, no up and down, and don't do big old leaping steps, all right? Again, you're going to rob yourself of energy, and you're going to telegraph your motions. So, think small, think smooth. I have one last adage to leave you with that is going to be repeated over and over and over throughout this series. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Practice these techniques slowly so that you can do them smoothly. And by doing them smoothly, the speed will it'll just come. So, I've been Will. I hope you've enjoyed this little lesson, and I wish you all the best of luck with your fighting. Stay tuned for more. We are going to get into more and more fun stuff as we go along. I just wanted to get this first one out to you guys and see how it goes. So, if you liked it, leave a like, leave a comment, what you would like to see or what I could do better here, and share it with all your friends who are interested in fighting. This is a great starter video. I love you guys to death. Be excellent to each other, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.